Today I'm going to show you how to make tables and graphs in Google Sheets. First, open up a new tab and then in the top right corner, the Google Apps application, click on that and then select Sheets. We are going to open up a blank spreadsheet. And the very first thing that we want to do is give this a title so we can find it easily later. So we'll call this the pumpkin graphing activity. And for this activity, we have to make 3 different graphs and 3 different data tables. So the easiest way to keep that information from getting lost or confused with each other is to make multiple sheets. So in the bottom right corner, we can add a sheet twice. And each of these we're going to rename. So if you click on this little drop down arrow, rename, we're going to call the first one pumpkin name. Click on the bottom arrow again for sheet 2. We're going to rename this one pumpkin mass versus kinetic energy. And lastly, sheet 3, rename to pi velocity versus kinetic energy. Okay, for pumpkin name, click on that tab, and the independent variable always goes in the first column. So for our first data table, our independent variable is the pumpkin name, and our dependent variable is mass in kilograms. Always remember to add in the unit here. You never want to put the units down below because it won't be able to graph it. So always put that in the title. Okay, now for this activity, we can just shorten the names. So we'll have smallest, and the smallest pumpkin was 0.063. Then we had a blue pumpkin, worded Olaf, huge, large carved, and world record pumpkin. And then we are going to add in the masses of these pumpkins. So the worded pumpkin was 8.2 kilograms, 25.9, 285, 590, 821.2, and 1190.5. Okay, so this data table is done. If we wanted to make it a little bit prettier, we could click and highlight the whole table. Up in the menu option, you see this button called Borders. If we click there, then we can click on this and it'll give it that nice little outline. You could also, if you wanted, highlight, change the background colors, like this. Something like that. Okay, so this data table is done. We just need to turn it into a graph. The way you do that, highlight that data table. We're going to go to Insert, go down to Chart, and here we go. So some stuff on this graph is correct, but some stuff is not correct. For example, this is categorical data. We want a bar graph. It made a scatter plot. We don't want that. And also this title could be improved. So to switch this from a scatter plot to a bar graph, in the chart setup, you just go over here and change it to a bar graph. Now, for whatever reason, if this menu ever goes away, all you have to do to get it back is click back on the graph, click on the three dots, edit chart. We want to change the name of the graph, so we go to customize chart and axis titles, and here how you can switch any of the titles, the X and Y axis, any of that. Our axes look fine, we just need to switch the main title. So we could switch this to mass mass of different pumpkins. Okay, this table and graph is ready to go, and we can insert those into our slideshow. To copy the graph, you just click on the three dots, copy chart, and then paste that in. To get the data table, I'm on a Mac, so I can't show you how to do this, but on a Chromebook, in your bottom right corner of your Chromebook, click on the menu, select screen capture, and just take a little screenshot of that data table. It'll take a picture of that, and then you can paste that into your slideshow. Next, we need to make a graph of pumpkin mass and kinetic energy. So we'll go to our second tab, and our independent variable for that one is mass in kilograms. And our dependent variable is kinetic energy in joules. And we can click and drag to make those columns wider so all that data fits in there. Okay, now I could manually type all of the masses. However, we already typed it once. So we could just go back, click on our first tab, highlight this table, copy it, go back to our second tab, and paste it in. Now we just need kinetic energy. Now we already did these calculations on our slideshow, so I'm just going to type in those numbers that we already calculated. Okay, this data table is ready to go. But same thing, we can make it look pretty, highlight the table, give it a border. We can also change these colors if we want. Something like that. Okay, so to make a graph of this one, again, highlight the table, insert, chart. And again, Google tries its best, doesn't always get it right. Okay, looking at Sultan, you can see our masses. These are the masses of our pumpkins, and we need that to be our x-axis labels. However, if you notice right here, it created a number scale like a y-axis. We do not want that. We want these numbers to actually be here. And the reason why it looks like this is because uh, Google Sheets doesn't know we want to treat these as if they were words, not numbers. So to fix that under chart setup, we need to go down and click the box treat labels as text. When you click on that, then you'll see that it treats those numbers as if they are words. Now, two other things we need to fix. First, it made a line graph. Our data is not data that happens over time. That's when you would use a line graph. Ours is categorical data, so we have to go back under setup, click, and change it to a bar graph. Okay. Now our graph is almost ready. If we look at Sultan, we have a good scale. The computer does that for us. We have our labels with our units on our X and Y axis, but we still need to change the title to be more descriptive. So under Customize, we click on Chart Nexus Titles. We need to change this. So we are going to change the title to Kinetic Energy of Different Mass. Put kilograms in there, different mass. Pumpkins launched at 4.5 meters per second. The reason we are changing that is because it is descriptive of the data, and we need to put the velocity in there, because even though that was a constant in the experiment, if we launched these pumpkins at a different velocity, our numbers would be different. So it's important that the viewer knows that all these pumpkins were launched at a certain velocity. This graph is pretty much ready to go. If you wanted to make it a little prettier, you could center the title. You could make it bold. You could change the font. Okay. And now this graph is ready to go. Click on the three dots, copy chart, add that into our slideshow. And then also we could do a screenshot of our data table and put that in. Now I'm not going to show you how to make the last graph, but I will show you how to set up the data table. And so for that one, this one was for pumpkin pie. So we can have, we said our independent variable was the pie velocity, which is meters per second. And then our dependent is kinetic energy, which is in joules. Okay, so you will do the same exact thing. You could give the data table, type in your independent and dependent data, give it borders, make it look nice, insert graph, make sure it's the right type of graph for the data. For the pie data, it needs to be a bar graph. Numbers and our numbers in the independent variable column should be treated as text. We need to make sure we have units both in both titles, and then we need a descriptive title that includes the constant.